Hi students, here's a little quick tutorial about how to take the styles in the head portion of an HTML page and export them to an external style sheet and link it to your HTML page. I'm not going to talk a ton about why you would want to do this, just to say one of these days it might be possible that you'll be working on a website that has 50 pages or something like that. And you'll want to make a change to the color of like your H2 tags or your H2 elements or something like that. And if all your styles are up in the head portion of your documents, you have to make that change 50 times. If all of those pages are linked to one style sheet, you make it one time and the change is made. So it's a pretty nice way of increasing your efficiency as a web developer. So first I'll start by showing you the files we'll be working on. We'll be working on mobi.html, and we've all seen that before. We've been plugging away on Mobi since the beginning of the semester. And this is what he looks like. And I'll open him up in Text Wrangler, and we'll see what the actual HTML page looks like. Looks like this. As you can see, there's the head portion of the document. All the invisible stuff goes in there. And one of the things in the head portion of the document is the style sheet. And it has all these styles. And I'm going to put them in a separate document. And I'm going to start by making that document. So this is how I'll do it. File, New. And the first thing I'm going to do is save it as a document with the extension of .css. For a style sheet to function as a style sheet, it has to have that extension. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to make sure it's going in exactly the same folder as my other two documents. And I'm going to give it the name Styles. Now the only super important part of this is the extension .css. You can call the name part of the file anything you want. I'm going to call mine styles because it'll make it easy for me to know what that is when I'm looking at these files in 2 years. But this is the only part that has to be a certain way, .css. So save. You can see it appeared over here. And now I have a blank style sheet in my folder. So I'll return to Mobi, and I'll get some styles for my blank style sheet by copying all of these rules, but only these rules. As you can see, the way style sheets work inside of an HTML document, they have to be nested inside these tags, but we're not going to take the tags over with us to the external style sheet, only the rules, from the top of the rules to the last curly brace. So I have this selected, and I'm going to go Edit, Cut. I'm going to cut them. And then I'm going to go to the style sheet, Edit, Paste. And I'm going to save it, Command S, Save. And now I have my style sheet created. And we'll go back to Mobi. And as you can see, Mobi has no styles. Let's look at it in the browser and see what's going on there. So here's the browser. I'm going to go Command R and no styles, which is exactly where we want to be right now. Let's go back to Text Wrangler. You can see that I've left these style tags in the head portion, and that's just fine. We might use them later to experiment with different styles for these pages, but they can be in there and be empty, and that's just fine. What we do have to put in there is an element that will link our HTML page, Mobi HTML, to that new style sheet. And so what I'm going to do is type it in there, and I will talk about what the different things I typed in mean after I'm done typing. Link rel equals style sheet. Type equals text / CSS href equals styles So what that means is this. It's a link to an external document to this web page. Rel means what's the relationship of that document to this web page. And the relationship is it's a style sheet. Type is another way of saying what type of document is it. And href means where is it located and what's its name. So this says it's a document called styles.css in the exact same folder as mobi.html, the file we're working on. And that's what you need. So I'm going to save mobi.html and see what happens in the browser. Returning to Firefox, Command R, and we have styles, and they're linked. How cool is that? Again, the advantage is you could make 25 different web pages, or 130. Say, for example, you wanted to make a different HTML page for every chapter of Moby Dick. You could link each one of those pages to this style sheet, and then if you wanted to change some minutia of the styles, you could just change the style sheet, and you'd be done.